Hello, I'm Georgia.reeves, Study Coordinator for the UK CARDIO-IMID Registry study. Welcome to this short instructional video which will guide you through the process of accessing and entering data into the UK CARDIO-IMID Registry REDCap database. So this video is aimed at colleagues who have already been granted access to the database, but if you have not yet received login access, please do email me at the address shown on the screen and I can get you set up with access. So to access the UK CARDIO-IMID database, please enter the link shown on the screen into your browser. Alternatively, you can go onto the UK CARDIO-IMID partnership website and select this link here to take you to the database. So once you've reached the login page, please enter your login details. So I'll enter mine. And this will take you to the home page. So you want to select My Projects, UK CARDIO-IMID, and this interface is my interface as an admin. So I'm going to transfer it to what it would look like for a site researcher. So now we have transferred to a site researcher interface. To enter the data, please select the Add Edit Records on the left-hand side of the menu here. And we're going to enter a record number. So the record number will be the pseudo ID without the starting UKCI. So just site number, for instance, 01, and participant number, for instance, 001. Once you click off that, it will then direct you to the record homepage shown here, and you can click through the data collection instruments down the screen. We request data at baseline, 6 months, 12 months, and annually thereafter, and it also offers you the option of entering an unscheduled visit, so these instruments can all be entered down here at the bottom. So if we start with form submission details, please enter your name and either a contact number or an email for yourself and the date that you completed the form. Once you've entered these data, you will see the complete option at the bottom of the instrument here. It's currently shown as incomplete. We'll then switch that to complete, save and exit the form. This is a short form, but for the longer forms, we really recommend you to save often and save early. So if you select this button here, it gives you the options to either save and stay, save and go to the next form, save and exit, save and go to next record. So we're going to save and exit the form. I'll close this instrument and demonstrate the other instruments within the system. Participant registration, identification, and NIHR demographics includes information that is collected from the registration forms and participant identification, such as the department that the patient was recruited from or the reason for the visit, and importantly, all information within this instrument is identifiable and therefore automatically bucketed separately by the REDCap system. There is no action required from your end. So if I partially complete this form, save and exit the form, there's a status update on each of the instruments. So green will show as completed, red will show as incomplete, and yellow will show as unverified. That is an option to include. For a completed form, you are permitted to lock a form at the bottom of the instrument, and if you do lock the form, then no other user will be able to modify the instrument. If the instrument does need to be unlocked again, please do contact the individual who completed the form or contact myself and we can solve that for you. So I'll save and exit the form. So for instance, if we go to IMID diagnosis here at baseline visit, branching logic is embedded throughout the database fields, so you may not see all the options at first glance, but when certain data fields are selected, the corresponding relevant questions will appear. So for IMID diagnosis, we're going to select established IMID diagnosis. For the primary diagnosis, we're selecting one only. For instance, the systemic autoimmune disease. and it will give you the option of inputting a subset. From that, you will then get further options or not. It depends upon the items that you select. So records can be edited post-entry, but we would prefer it if all instruments are fully completed wherever possible. It does not save as an automatic option, so please remember to save early and save often. We have mandatory fields within the database, which will be highlighted by this red text. And if you don't complete that, you will just get a prompt, such as this one that's popped up here. If you do not have the data, you can save and exit and go to the next form and enter it when you do have the data, but please do fully complete the data where possible. So if I complete these values that are mandatory, go down to the bottom, complete, save and exit form. So it'll take you back to the instrument homepage. The database also has standard ranges inputted for quality control purposes. So using the laboratory test instrument as an example, if I input a value that exceeds the standard ranges, you will receive an error. The value that you have entered can be retained, but please do sense check the value which do not make sense and whereby you get an alert for it. For instance, an extra 0 might have been added by mistake, and you will get an automated warning to advise you of the standard ranges. So please do sense check for these particular values. So if we save and exit this form, using CMR as an example, at the bottom of each instrument, there is the option to input free text for cardiovascular imaging reports. So we'll be looking to collect the raw DICOM image files in bulk uploads either monthly or 2-monthly via XNAT, which is currently under development. The PDF of scan reports can be uploaded via the same mechanism if direct data is not possible. And if sites are wishing to do the free text or PDF upload option, please do notify us and we can allocate the required support for data entry. So if I run through an example of completing a final form, so if we go to the final diagnosis, I will select the final diagnosis, which again may be revised based on subsequent evaluation. This is a mandatory field. If there is an other diagnosis, please do enter it in the fields that pop up. We then complete this form, save and exit the form, and that is complete. So as a final note, please remember to save often and save early, even before completing a tool. If you encounter any difficulties with the database or have any suggestions for improving its feasibility within clinical settings, please do contact me, and thank you for your time.